Hey guys, so quick trade breakdown of today's trading day. Today is Friday actually. We had CPI news today at 8:30 and was really a mess today. Still was able to catch a really clean short, but NQ was really high resistance today, and but could have been really a big, or not big winning day, but could have been definitely a winning day. Once again, money management, which I basically still have to improve on basically. So today, break even day, I took one loss right here, one break even, and one winner basically, where I also got stopped out right here. Before we go into the trades, I want to talk about, as you know, daily conditions. So obviously we are in bullish conditions. Actually, in that case, it's already a bit obvious that we are not going to expand aggressively lower. Still, we could also argue that we are really overextended, that we are going to see a short-term reversal after we took out the high right here. But I think we are still just aiming for higher targets. In that case, a bit difficult. Let's drop to hourly chart. So what we can see right here is we have lots of SMT being in play. London SMT with New York open kill zone. It says liquidity being in play. With the Dow Jones and also daily SMT at the highs. Before we drop lower, I want to go to regular trading hours as always. So let's drop to a 50-minute chart. What we have right here is also equal highs on regular trading hours, which we are basically aiming towards. And today we had not trending conditions. We had only a new open range gap of 78 or 80 handles. Therefore, we want to see that we trade back to CE, and that's what we did. That's what was basically my narrative. We want to see that we trade back to CE basically with reaching 10 a.m. So that's what we want to see. So basically the first half hour of trading. And also what's even more importantly, if we open up high right here and we have no price action at all. So really our trading volume is below the low right here, below the line. So therefore, it's even more important to me that we reach lower to those quadrant levels, eventually even into the low of the new open range gap, because we just have basically our blends prices right here, because we have no trading in this region. And therefore, that was why I anticipated maybe that today would also be a day where we are able to expand a bit lower, eventually even fully close in today's new open range gap, and just to trade back basically to the prices right here, because we have just no trading in those price regions right here. With that, I think we can now drop to our 1 minute time frame or 5 minute time frame first right here. So you can see the SMTs being in play. Also SMT with ES at the Asia lows. So market maker bumble already in play right here. Traded higher. As I mentioned before, daily SMT being in play. We took out as the new open kill zone buy the liquidity already with the opening, and from there, really we're stuck in this high resistance conditions right here. Why? Because we have with CPI news a huge volume imbalance. So closed right here and opened up right here. So that's basically why we had such difficult trading conditions today. And still, because we basically if we first sweep the high with the opening, I then want to look for shorts, because 930 is basically manipulating higher, also creating SMT with ES. Therefore, to look for shorts, in my opinion, is in that case, a quality condition. Why? Because we're also trading aligned with regular trading hours. Unfortunately, against the trend, the higher time frame trend, yes, but we are still able to participate actually in a quite most of the time quite clean session liquidity run. As you see, basically right here, we are really now in bullish conditions, trading higher. So my first setup right here was basically we already traded lower, and to me that's not really clean. Why? Because our first value gap is down here. That's really really way low, how you call it, way too low where we want to enter. Why? Because we are already near 930 opening price, and we can expect that if we trade lower, so below 930, we will see some support coming into the market. Why? Because with that we are trading basically into the new open range gap of today's trading range, so trading day. So that's a bit problematic. Still, I was really patient, so I wanted to see how we react basically of CE, of the down close candle right here. Why? Because to me, if we are definitely going to see a deeper retracement, then I'm going to take not both down close candles but only the up close candle. And I want to see how we trade basically at CE, and we really respected CE with the bodies and traded lower. And also right here, I then basically took the order block of those two consecutive candles and wanted to see if we are able to close below CE, because that, if we are in bullish conditions, is now going to actually the lower candle right here would be the order block. But in that case, if we are in bearish conditions, we need to trade below CE, because the up close candles right here are going to be a order block, which is going to be, how you call it, respected as resistance in the future on. So I want to see if we can close below CE right here, and that's what we did. I entered right here, and today I was a bit too, as I mentioned before, I had not good money management. Why? Because actually the first trade right here is completely fine, but we really should have just closed 50% or even more right here. So first partial definitely right here with reaching midnight opening price as well. That's a high quality partial, and I don't know, I think I was really convinced that we are going to see a strong, I don't know, expansion to the downside, also towards New York open kill zone, buy sell liquidity, eventually even London equal London lows, Asia lows as well being in play on NQ, and so on. So I was really looking towards that, but yeah, actually in that case was definitely the wrong approach. I should have basically just taken 2 off, went break even or go break even in that case, and be done for the day. That would have been my trade for today. Still we were really in difficult conditions. I took basically the loss right here. Was not a huge loss, actually quite small loss. I'm content with that. I already trailed my stop right there, but re-entered. Why? Because we were still still respecting kind of bearish conditions, not really in bullish conditions. To me, that we basically traded above the high right here was only a deeper retracement. And also, if you take a look on regular trading hours once more, we were also closing right here, really much below the New York, below basically the opening, so below the 930 opening price. And in that case, to me, that's anticipating that we are going to revisit basically lower prices, and that we are going to see that we will reach for CE basically. So entered right there short, maybe not the best short, I have to admit. Why? Because we are not really entering of a specific PD array, I have to admit. So in that case, I only took it because my first setup, which is basically right here, is still in play, because we did not take out the high right here. That's the mindset behind that. Basically also closed not above CE of the order block once again. So in that case, with the right, maybe with the right stop, which should have been probably above the high right here, we could have only taken 1 trade, I have to admit. So that's actually something I think I have to learn today. So stop should have been above here, and then we have to maybe either we take 2 partials right here, go break even, and we are done for the day, or we really look for lower prices. We don't move our stop and just have a strong conviction that we are going to trade lower. But I got basically break even right here. That was definitely the right decision. Why? Because we failed to trade below the quadrants right here. Really respected the quadrants of the down close wick right here. That's really important. Went break even, really good break even in that case. But really liked how we had a unicorn, kind of a unicorn model in here, not really, but breaker as well, where we reacted to inversion fair gap, reacted to, and also the CE level right here, once again of our order block of those two consecutive up close candles, really reacted to CE right here. I went short. In that case, what I don't like is the fact that I was a bit too impatient. I have to wait for the candle close right here. So my entry should have been with the next candle. That was a bit too aggressive. But then once again, I'm right about the narrative. We traded lower. In that case, I know if we are not done trading lower with the wick right here, we will see even lower prices. Therefore, I did not take a partial right here. I'm content with that. Took my first partial right here, second partial right here after we failed to stay bearish and got stopped right here with two contracts. Today's once again as I now mentioned before, a break-even day, but I think I could have done definitely something different. So in that case, what I really learned today once again is that if we attack SMT liquidity, we are either going to see really high resistance towards the liquidity pool, or we are just really unable to reach the liquidity pool, and the SMT will stay intact, and we will see basically a reversal, what basically happened right here. So in that case, what I could have done differently is just I'm content with shorting basically with the next candle, so 959, and then going basically for a full close right here. So at the liquidity right here, then once again would have been a really quite big winning trade. But in that case, two contracts, I mean, it's okay, it's a break-even day. I can't really say something about it, but there's still a lot I could have done differently. And I think also, so two lessons today, once again, how we trade when we attack SMT liquidity, and also that we need to have a wider stop. So right here, entering short right here, the short at least needs to be above the high right here. I think even if you want to play it safe, it should have been even above the SMT. So that's basically the most important rule, to have your stop above the SMT, because we are not going to invalidate this. But it's just, to me, a bit too I mean, it's not even that much, 43 handles. I mean, that's okay. We would basically aim for a even more than a 1-to-1. So I think that's even possible. But that's, once again, I'm still too much in the wrong money management approach. I have to aim for those really smaller and low-hanging fruit objectives. Just full close in here. We don't need to see that we trade down here. I mean, it's possible, but we don't need it. So and therefore I will make much more if I'm just aiming for those low-hanging fruits than if I'm going to really hang on to those too optimistic targets in that case. But just also marking out my trade, which I should have taken basically. So short right here, stop above the high right here, 30 handles. I mean, that's nothing in that case. 30 handles is not much. That's a completely valid stop in that case. It only looks much because we today have kind of low volume. Therefore, also today CPI looks really aggressive, but we just had low volume today. So therefore, it's not really that deep. And I mean, 1 to 1.78. So we don't need more than that. That would have been our perfect trade right here. So even if it's high resistance, completely manageable. So once again, big learning today. Could have done definitely something differently, but I mean, trading just takes time, and I think money management is probably the most, in my opinion, or in my case, the most important and also most difficult thing to master, because I'm most of the time, 80-90%, I'm correct about my narrative, that we are right here going to trade lower. Once again, correct. I'm just not correct with my too optimistic targets. I'm basically always getting the low-hanging fruit, which is the engineered size liquidity right here, which is the low right here. But from there on, we should not expect even more. So that's what I learned today. What I basically learn every day, and really have to journal this once more. Also with SMT, cannot expect that we will take out the low right here, I have to admit. And keep a wider stop in that case. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. And yeah, see you soon. See you next week.